you're half asleep, doing that classic "I can totally walk to the kitchen in the dark" move, and your foot finds something that is absolutely not carpet. It's small, it's angry, you feel a sharp, hot jab, and your brain instantly tries to negotiate. Maybe that was a staple, maybe I'm fine. And then your nervous system goes, nope, congrats, you just volunteered. Welcome to CAPY Chaos Lab, where science turns into a story, and somehow you're the test subject. So yeah, you just got stung by a scorpion. The first thought is, how bad can a tiny desert lobster be? The second thought is, why does my foot feel like it got tagged by lightning with a personal grudge? Here's the thing, this isn't just pain because ouch. It's pain because chemistry just messed with your wiring. Scorpion venom is a mix of proteins and peptides that can interfere with how nerves and muscles talk to each other. Your body runs on electrical signals, and scorpion venom loves messing with the switches. First, quick reality check. Not every scorpion sting is life-threatening. Plenty are extremely rude, but not catastrophic. But some species carry venom that can hit the nervous system harder, and that's when your body starts acting like it's in a disaster movie. It's not being dramatic, it's doing emergency math. Right after the sting, pain sensors fire non-stop. Burning, stabbing, throbbing. Your nerves are basically spam texting your brain. At the same time, your brain hits the stress button. Heart rate up, sweating, shaky energy. That's your body going, unknown threat detected. Everybody panic efficiently. Now, what's in the venom that makes it feel so intense? A lot of it targets ion channels. Ion channels are tiny gates on nerve cells that control electrical signals. If those gates start opening at the wrong time, your nerves misfire like a car alarm that won't shut up. So the twist is, the sting site might not look like much, but the signal coming from it can be huge. It's not always about damage, it's about your nervous system getting hacked. Then you do the most human thing possible. You try to walk it off, because obviously your body will respect your confidence. But within minutes, you realize walking is now a full-time job. The pain can spread up the limb, not because the venom is teleporting, but because nerves share pathways, and your brain starts treating the whole neighborhood as suspicious. Here's where it gets weird. You might notice tingling, numbness, or a buzzing sensation. You think, cool, my foot is vibrating. Love that for me. That's your nerves firing in inconsistent patterns, like your body is trying to type a sentence with the wrong keyboard layout. And while you're staring at your foot like it betrayed you, inflammation joins the chat. Blood flow increases, fluids move in, and you can get swelling and warmth. Helpful, sure, but it can also make everything feel louder. Great teamwork, everybody. Anyways, now you're thinking, okay, so it hurts, it swells, it tingles. That's it, right? And this is where scorpion venom can pull a second trick. It can overstimulate nerves enough to ripple into muscle activity, twitching, restlessness, that feeling like your body is trying to shake the pain out like a wet dog. Next, we need to talk about the more system-wide effects people report. Why some stings feel like your whole body is on high alert, and why symptoms can stack in a way that sounds unreal, even when the sting itself looks small. Because the venom isn't just poking one spot, it's nudging the messaging system your whole body uses. And once your messaging system gets noisy, your brain does what it always does. It assumes the worst and starts scanning you like a security guard who just drank 3 coffees. So yeah, your brain starts doing a full-body audit. Are we okay? Are we dying? Are we just being dramatic? Meanwhile, the scorpion venom is basically tapping on nerve channels like a prankster hitting every doorbell on the block. Here's where it gets weird in a very specific way. Some scorpion venoms can affect the autonomic nervous system. That's the part of your nervous system that runs the background apps you never think about. Heart rate, sweating, salivation, gut movement, breathing patterns. You don't manually control most of it, which is great until something starts messing with it. What you expect is simple. You expect pain, maybe some swelling, maybe a grumpy limp for the rest of the day. What can actually happen in some cases is your body turning certain dials way up. More sweating, more tearing, more saliva, nausea, muscle twitching that spreads. You might feel jittery and exhausted at the same time, like your body is trying to sprint while your brain is begging for a nap. And no, this doesn't mean you're doomed. It means your nervous system is being overstimulated. Scorpion venom often contains toxins that interact with sodium channels and other nerve gates. When those gates behave badly, nerves can fire too easily, too often, or in the wrong pattern. That can show up as pain, tingling, muscle cramps, or spasms. Think of it like your body's electrical grid flickering. The lights still work, but everything's glitchy. Now, the big twist. Scorpion stings vary a lot. Different species, different venom profiles, different outcomes. Some regions have scorpions where most stings are mainly local pain. Other places have species that are more medically significant, where symptoms beyond the sting site are more common. And then there's the wild card, your body. body, your size, your health, your sensitivity, where you were stung, and how much venom got delivered can all change the experience. That's why a kid can get hit harder than an adult from the same type of sting. Smaller body, less margin, and the nervous system can react more intensely. It's the same reason a tiny cup of espresso can feel like a rocket launch if you haven't eaten all day. If you're enjoying this little guided tour of chaos, hit like and subscribe. Keeps the lab running. So, what's actually going on inside you minute by minute? First, the sting triggers pain signals and local inflammation. Then, the venom molecules spread through nearby tissue and into circulation. Your body responds by pumping out stress hormones, basically your internal "oh no" juice. That can make you feel fast, sweaty, restless, and extra aware of every heartbeat. Then, your muscles get invited to the chaos. Muscle fibers listen to nerves. If nerves start sending chaotic signals, muscles can twitch or cramp. Sometimes it stays near the sting. Sometimes it shows up in places that make you go, wait, why is my eyelid doing that? Because your nervous system is one big network, and it does not always keep the drama localized. You might also notice that your stomach gets involved. Your gut is full of nerves. Overstimulation can mean nausea, stomach cramps, or that lovely feeling of, I should not have eaten whatever I ate. Again, not gore, just your body reacting to mixed signals. And while all this is happening, you're probably doing the classic human spiral, Googling symptoms with one hand, staring at the sting site with the other, and announcing, I think I can feel my blood. Spoiler, you can't. That's anxiety wearing a trench coat pretending to be science. But it's also smart to watch for red flags. If symptoms start spreading fast, if you feel faint, if breathing becomes difficult, or if there's swelling around the face or throat, that's not a tough it out moment. That's a get help moment. The goal is not to be brave. The goal is to stay functional. Next, let's talk about what your body does to shut this down, how it clears venom, why the worst part can come in waves, and why you might feel fine for a bit and then suddenly not fine again. Okay, so how does your body actually shut this party down? Because right now it feels like the venom walked in, grabbed the microphone, and started karaoke at full volume. The good news is your body is built to clear foreign molecules. The bad news is it can take a while, and the process is not always comfortable. First, your tissues and blood start carrying venom components away from the sting site. Your liver and kidneys are part of the cleanup crew, breaking down and filtering stuff out. Your immune system reacts too, not by eating the venom, but by managing inflammation and coordinating the response. That's why you can feel sore, tired, and generally annoyed afterward. Your body spent energy dealing with a chemical interruption. Here's where it gets weird again. Symptoms can come in waves. You might have a period where the pain eases, you think you're winning, and you start talking like a motivational speaker. See, I'm fine. Then inflammation shifts, or nerves get irritated again, and suddenly you're limping like you just lost a bet. Nerve signaling and inflammation don't turn off like a light switch. They fade slowly and inconsistently. Also, your brain has a huge role in how this feels. Pain isn't just a signal from your skin, it's your brain interpreting that signal. When you're stressed, sleep-deprived, dehydrated, or panicking, your brain becomes a sensitive microphone. It amplifies, so the same sting can feel bad or absolutely illegal, depending on the context. Now, let's address the classic myths. No, you don't want to start doing random DIY experiments on yourself. You don't want to test the venom with heat, chemicals, or internet hacks. You don't want to poke the area 100 times to see if it still hurts. Yes, it still hurts. Congratulations, you discovered pain. What you want is to treat this like your body is having a loud reaction and needs calm, not more chaos. And in real life, medical professionals can assess severity, manage symptoms, and in some cases use specific treatments depending on the type of scorpion and the reaction. In certain regions, anti-venom exists for particular scorpions and is used when symptoms are significant, especially in kids or more severe cases. The key point is, there are levels to this. Most stings are painful and miserable. Some stings need actual medical intervention. Your job is to not guess wrong. So, what does more serious look like without turning this into a horror movie? It looks like symptoms that aren't staying local, increasing muscle twitching or spasms, trouble swallowing, breathing issues, extreme restlessness or confusion, feeling faint, or a reaction that's clearly escalating instead of gradually settling. If your body is trending in the wrong direction, that's not the moment to be stubborn. And if you're wondering why scorpions evolved venom like this, it's simple. defense and hunting. They need something that hits nervous systems fast. Your nerves use similar parts, so you're basically running compatible hardware. Nature didn't target you personally, it just shipped the venom with no user manual. Now, one more satisfying science nugget. When venom toxins mess with ion channels, they change how easily nerves fire. That means a normal touch can feel painful, pain can feel bigger, and the area can stay hypersensitive for hours. It's like turning up the volume and then breaking the knob off. So, by this point, you're either riding it out or you've gotten help if symptoms are serious. Either way, you're probably thinking the same thing. How long until I feel normal? And the answer is, it depends. Some people feel better after a few hours, some feel sore or weird for longer, and that uncertainty is exactly why, in the last part, we're going to put this on the chaos scale, drop the quick safety notes, and decide what experiment you should never volunteer for next. Alright, so what's the bottom line when a scorpion stings you? The short version is, your body gets two problems at once. One is the local ow problem, pain and inflammation at the sting site. The other is the wiring problem. Some venoms can mess with nerve signaling enough to make the whole system feel loud, twitchy, sweaty, and on edge, and that's why this experience can be so confusing. You look at the sting, and you expect the pain to match what you see. But nerves don't work like that. If ion channels get pushed into weird behavior, the signal can be massive even when the visible mark is small. It's like your body's alarm system is blaring because someone sneezed near the smoke detector. Now, here's the twist people hate. Sometimes you feel better, and then you feel worse again. The pain calms down, you relax, your stress hormones settle, and then your nerves get irritated again, or the inflammation shifts and the volume creeps back up. That doesn't automatically mean it's getting dangerous. It can just mean your nervous system is slow to reset. But you don't want to ignore a pattern that's clearly escalating. So let's talk about when should you take this seriously in a very non-dramatic way. If symptoms stay local, pain, mild swelling, some tingling, most cases are just miserable and then gradually improve. But if you notice symptoms spreading fast, trouble breathing, swelling around the face or throat, trouble swallowing, severe muscle spasms, extreme restlessness, confusion, or you feel faint, that's not a walk it off situation. That's a get professional help situation, especially with kids, older adults, or anyone with health conditions, because the same sting can hit different bodies very differently. Also, allergic reactions are a separate thing. Most people aren't allergic to scorpion venom, but if your body starts acting like it's having an allergy-style emergency, hives everywhere, wheezing, dizziness, that's urgent. Your goal is not to win a toughness contest. Your goal is to keep your body from turning a bad day into a worse one. Okay, chaos scale time. For the average sting that stays mostly local, this is like a 6 out of 10. Painful, annoying, and it steals your mood for hours. But for the stings that trigger nervous system chaos, it jumps to a 9 out of 10. Because now, your body is doing that thing where it can't decide if it wants to sweat, twitch, panic, or all three at once. Premium chaos. Would not recommend. 1 star. The scorpion, however, would give itself 5 stars. And yes, scorpions are basically the introverts of the animal world. They're not out there hunting humans for sport. Most stings happen because you surprised one. Shoes, bedding, towels, camping gear, gloves. The classic, let me blindly reach into a dark place. Speed run. You're not in a battle. You're in a misunderstanding that escalated. Also, please don't do the ancient ritual of, I will suck the venom out, like you're in a cowboy movie. That's not how this works. Venom molecules move fast through tissue, and your mouth does not have a delete toxin button. If you want to help, the best move is to stay calm, monitor symptoms, and get real help if anything feels wrong. And after it's over, you might still feel worn out. That's normal. Your body just ran a full emergency response over a tiny creature with a built-in syringe. Drink water, rest, and let your nervous system go back to being boring. Boring is underrated. Educational only, not medical advice. If you're ever stung in real life and you're worried, trust your gut and get checked by a professional. Now, if you want the next experiment, comment which one you want. What happens to your body when a jellyfish stings you, or what happens when fire ants swarm you? And if you learned something, share this with a friend who thinks every tiny animal is harmless. Subscribe, comment your next topic, and share this with a friend. Subscribe and join the experiment. Cappy's got the clipboard.